Hello everyone and welcome back to Tech Ashwin. In this video, we are going to be using Django REST framework and YouTube API to access a user account. That is, I will access my YouTube channel using OAuth. We'll be exploring how you can gain access to your YouTube channel using OAuth. OAuth is a widely used standard for authentication and authorization that allows your application to access the protected resources on behalf of user. By using OAuth to authenticate with YouTube, you can grant your application the necessary permission to interact with the YouTube channel, such as uploading videos, retrieving analytics, and managing your channel. We'll be walking through the OAuth process step by step so you can get up and running with the YouTube integration in no time. Whether you are building a custom YouTube app or simply looking to integrate YouTube data into your existing application, this video is perfect starting point for getting started with OAuth and YouTube API. So let's get started. This is the Tech Ashwin directory. I have created the Tech Ashwin Django project. So here account and YouTube config are the names of the app directory, and YouTube is the name of our project. So without wasting any time, let's start the coding. So for that purpose, open up the views.py file which is inside the app name YouTube config. For creating an API, we need to import generic from REST framework, and let's also import the response. I am going to create a class Google login, Google login, and inherit that class with a generic API view. So generic API view. Okay, we are going to create a get function, and inside the get function, let's create the URL. Take a variable current site equals to get current site request.domain. We need to import the get current site from django.contrib.sites.shortcuts. Import get current site request.domain. Now let's take another variable relative link equals to reverse. So we have not imported the reverse. Let's import the reverse from django.urls import reverse. So reverse callback. So we have written here callbacks because callback is the name of URL. So relative link will fetch the path of URL. HTTP equals to HTTPS if request dot is secure, else HTTP. If request is secure, then it will return the HTTPS. If not, then it will return HTTP. Now let's take a URL variable equals to HTTP plus / colon, then pass the current site and relative link. Let's print this URL. Print URL, so we can see what is inside the URL. Let's take another variable flow, and we have not installed the Google libraries. Let's install the Google libraries. I have given the link in the description. So copy the command from the documentation. Copy this and paste in a terminal to install it, and hit enter. Now copy the second command from here and paste in terminal and hit enter. Now we have successfully installed both the libraries. Now we are going to use this library here. So flow equals to Google. We are getting error here, so we need to import it first. Let's import library first. Import google_auth_oauthlib.flow. So flow equals to google.auth_lib.flow.install app from client secret file. Now we are going to pass some parameter inside the client secret file. So pass the client secret file scopes and redirect URI equals to URL. Now we are going to create a path. For that purpose, import os site underscore root equals to os.path.real path, then os.path.dir name underscore underscore file underscore underscore. Okay, then client underscore secret underscore file equals to os.path.join site root. So here we are joining the path with the secret file. To create the client secret file, let's open the Google Developer Console. Now we are going to create a credential. Now click on credential, click on create credential, choose OAuth client ID, click on configure consent screen, then choose the external because you are not using it for the internal purpose, then click on create. So write the app name here. So I'll write take Ashwin. Okay, next one is the user support email. Add any email you want, then add the developer contact information, then click on save and continue. Now everything looks fine. Click on save and continue, then again save and continue, and finally click on back to dashboard. Now click on the credential and then click on the create credential. Here you can see the OAuth client ID. Click on it. Now select the application type. We are going to select the web application. We will add this redirect URL later. Everything looks fine. Let's click on the create. Okay, now you can see we have created the client ID here. So click on the download button. Now click on the download JSON button and close it. Then go to the OAuth consent screen and click on the add users. Then add your testing email ID. I am going to test OAuth using this email ID. Then click on save. Now we are going to access the YouTube data API. So to work on the YouTube data API, we have to enable it. So search here YouTube data API and click on enable. Now go to the download section. Now open up the client secret file. Rename it as a client secret. I will keep the name short. Okay, now copy this file from here, copy it and paste in the directory of YouTube config. So here I will select the directory YouTube config. Now right click on it and click on the paste. Now click on the OK. As you can see, we have added the file here in the YouTube config directory. Now join this file as a client secret.json. Let's add the scope inside the list. So the scope equal to I have opened the documentation, so you can choose the scope according to your requirement. For now I am using the first scope, that is manage your YouTube account. Now copy this scope, copy it and paste here inside the string. Now we are going to generate the auth URL and state from the flow. Let's write auth URL comma state equal to flow dot authorization underscore URL prompt equals to consent. Now let's print the state colon state. Okay, now return response auth URL colon auth URL. Now we are going to create another class name as a OAuth2 callback, and we are going to inherit the class with generic API view. Now we are going to write the get method here, request, and inside the get method we need a URL here. Let's copy this part from above URL and paste here. Now write the state equals to request.get state code equal to request.get code. Now let's print the state. This is coming from the OAuth2 callback, so I will say state from the callback. Now flow equals to google-auth-oauthlib .flow.install app .from client secret, and pass the client secret file scopes and redirect URL. Redirect URL equals to URL. Now flow.fetch underscore token, then pass the code equals to code. Credentials equal to flow.credentials. Now print the credentials here. So print credentials colon comma credentials. Now channel is equals to get YouTube channel, and pass the credential here. So let's create the get YouTube channel function here. Instead of that, we are going to create this function in a separate file. So let's create the file inside the YouTube config. Right click on it, new, then Python file. Write the name YouTube_helper and hit enter. Then you can see the file inside the YouTube config. So let's create a function name, say get YouTube account, and pass the parameter credentials. Write API service name is equal to YouTube. Write this inside the string. Let's also write the API version. So API version is v3. Write this also in the string. Now YouTube equal to, let's import first Google API client library. Import Google API client dot discovery. So YouTube equal to Google API client dot discovery dot build, and pass the API service name, API version, and credential equals to credentials. Request is equal to youtube.channels dot list in bracket mine equals to true, comma part equals to snippet, comma content details, comma statistic. Now response equal to request dot execute. Return a response. Okay, the function name which we have written is get YouTube channel. Let's change the function name, get YouTube channel. Get YouTube channel. Okay, now from YouTube_helper import get YouTube channel. Now let's print the channel here. After that, return response status true, channel data, pass the channel here. Status equals to status, we need to import it from REST framework. Import status dot http 200. Okay, now we are going to write the URL. So open up the urls.py file from the YouTube config. From current directory, import views, then write in the list URL patterns, path, login / views dot google login dot as view, then write name equals to YouTube login, and then again write the path auth to callback / views dot auth to callback as view, name equals to callback. Oh, I forgot to put a comma here. Let's include the URL in the main project folder URL. So open the urls.py file from the YouTube folder, add tech / Ashwin / YouTube / include. We are getting error here. We need to import the include. So from Django.urls import include, then write app name dot urls. So the app name is YouTube config, so the YouTube config dot urls. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a URL for getting the auth URL, and also I will write the redirect URL for your understanding. So http / 127.0.0.1:8000 / tech / Ashwin / YouTube, then login. So this path will be the same, so I'm going to paste it here. Now the endpoint is auth to callback, so this is our redirect URL. For now we need this first URL, so copy this first one and let's run the server. Python manage.py run server and hit enter. Oh, we are getting the error in line number 7, so let's check it. We need to add a dot here in from YouTube helper import get YouTube channel. So we need to add a dot here, because adding a dot before the module name in the import statement tells the Python to look for a module in the current directory. So add a dot here and let's run the server again. Now we don't get any error this time. Now copy this URL, this one, and paste here in the postman and click here. Now we got the auth URL. Now press the Ctrl plus click to open the URL in browser. Access block. This app's request is invalid. Redirect URL mismatch. We are getting this invalid request because we didn't add the redirect URL in Google Developer Console. So let's add the URL. Now copy this URL from here and click on the web client and then add URI and paste the copied URL here and click on the save. Now open up the Postman and hit the URL again and open this URL in the browser. Now you can see we have got this page. So here I am going to choose my YouTube account. So click on it Go ahead and click on the Take Ashwin. Here it says Google hasn't verified this app. This is because we have not published this app yet. So go ahead and click on continue. Click on allow. Oh, we are getting this error. Got an unexpected keyword argument, redirect URL. This should be redirect URI. Let's go to the code and check the line number 46. Here we have to change the URI. Okay. Now let's run the server again. Now open up the Postman and hit the URL again and open this URL in browser. Now choose your YouTube account, then click on Take Ashwin. Click on continue. Give the access. Click on allow button. Now you can see the response here. As you can see, the channel data is there. Inside the channel data you can see the title, description, and customer URL, publish date, thumbnail. So everything is here. Now you can see the content details and statistics. Inside the statistic there is a view count, subscriber count, hidden subscriber count, and video count. As you can see here, also printed the response of the same channel data. Now what I want to show you, the state. The first state from the Google login, and another state is coming from the OAuth2 callback class. So both the states are same. Now we are going to save the user, but the problem is how to save the user. We can do that with the help of state mapping. So the state is same, so we can map the state. Okay, let's import the permission classes. So permission classes is equal to is authenticated. So let's import this from REST framework dot permissions import is authenticated. Permission classes is equal to is authenticated. Now we know the state is same, so we can map the user with the state. So create any class, let's say user state mapping. I have already created the class and added the user state and created that as a field of the class. I have already done the migration part. For migration I have used python manage.py make migration and python manage.py migrate commands. Now let's import the user state mapping from the model. From models, import user state mapping. Now your user underscore state equal to user state mapping, then pass the user equal to self dot request dot user and state equal to state, then save it, user state dot save. Okay, now we are fetching the user in OAuth2 callback. So for that purpose, write user underscore state equals to user state mapping dot objects dot filter state equals to state dot first. Now user equals to user state dot user, then print the user, print user. To identify in the terminal, we'll add the user. Okay, now let's run the server. Now our server is running. Let's go to the Postman and hit the URL again. Now it is saying authentication credentials were not provided. That's mean we have to provide the authentication credential. I have already copied the user, so let's go to the authorization. So click on authorization, click on the bearer token and paste the token here. Again hit the URL and open this URL in the browser. Now choose your YouTube account, choose Take Ashwin, click on continue, click on allow. Now we are successfully getting the response. We are going to check the terminal. Let's open the terminal. Here you can see the user. It means we have successfully fetched the user in OAuth to callback. Now it's up to you at this point. I'm not going to handle it specifically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put to do, that is decide your business logic. Yeah, that's it from this video. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will sure get back to you. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video.